Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Margarita, and since we're coming on the end of 2018, I thought I would sit down for a couple videos and tell you guys my least, most favorite books and my most surprising and most disappointing books that I read in 2018. And since this is the first of those videos, I figured we would start off on a good note. So today I'm going to be talking about my favorite books that I read in 2018. I have 5 of them here. Tried to whittle it down to just 5 or else I could be talking to you for a very, very long time. These are in no particular order, so I'm just going to get right into them. The first book that I'm going to talk about is the only nonfiction that I have on this list, although I read a lot of really good nonfiction this year, and that is Not That Bad, edited by Roxane Gay, and these are dispatches from rape culture. And the reason that I chose this book, not only is it a really good book and you get a lot of different perspectives and different stories, but I think it is so important, and it is a book that needs to be talked about more and more people need to read. So I'm hoping that by putting it in this video, I might get at least 1 or 2 more people interested in picking it up and reading it. This is so important, especially in the society that we live in, because we do live in a rape culture society, and it's so good. And I'm gonna warn you guys now, it's definitely a hard-hitting subject. Obviously, this took me a really long time to read because I could not read more than like 5 or 6 of these stories at a time, and then I'd put it down for a couple days. But it is so important, and it is something that we need to talk about as a society. So this is definitely one of the best books that I read this year, and I really hope that more people go out and read it. The next book that I have to talk about is Tiger Lily by Jodi Lynn Anderson, and this is a Peter Pan retelling, but with Tiger Lily as the main character and Tinkerbell is the narrator. And what I really, really loved about this book was the message of love and how you don't always end up with the person you love. Obviously, we know Tiger Lily and Peter Pan don't end up together. So it's just such a good story, and it was so wonderful, and I just loved everything about it. I wish I could put my words, like I could make my words more eloquent about this book because I loved it so much, but there's something about this book that when I sit down to try and talk about it, I'm just like, it's so good, you just have to read it. It's just absolutely fabulous, and I really recommend, if you have not read this yet, please pick it up because I don't think you'll be disappointed. So good. The next book that I'm going to talk about is The Astonishing Color of After by Emily X.R. Pan, and this book was absolutely stunning. This follows our main character Lee, whose mother commits suicide, and so she believes her mother has turned into this red bird, and she then goes to Taiwan to visit her grandparents on her mother's side, who she's never met before. And she starts to uncover all these things about her mom's past and her grandmother and her grandfather and that story, and it's so good. This book is absolutely stunning. I highly recommend the audiobook because I read it on audiobook and I thought it was absolutely wonderful. The narration was stunning. And this, as soon as I read it, I went out and I bought it. That's how much I loved it. So I highly, highly, highly recommend this book. It's so good. It deals with grief really well. A++. Please pick this up if you have not, because it is absolutely fabulous. The next book that I'm going to talk about is a book that I should have read a long time ago. I don't know why I put it off so long, because everybody loves it. But it is The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. And this book is so wonderful. It is basically a fantasy world where I want to say it's almost post-apocalyptic because they reference our world, like this, I think it's the United States, but they like reference the old world a lot, and I think we're supposed to be the old world, but something happened and they go and they create this new world. And so there's the Tearling, there's Mortmain, and a couple other neighboring kingdoms. And Kelsey, the queen of the Tearling, was taken away when she was really, really young and hidden away until she became of age that she could rule the Tearling. And everybody's trying to kill her. So this story starts off where she has come of age and the Queen's Guard is here to take her back to the castle so that she can rule, and all the things that happen there. And it's so good. The political intrigue is absolutely fabulous. Kelsey as a character is really good. I like her a lot. She's a strong female character without being like overly strong, if that makes sense. Like someone where, sorry about that, someone who like doesn't feel pain and just, you know, she seems really down to earth, and like you can connect with her as a character. It's just, I really liked this book. I cannot wait to continue on with the series. I'm hoping to finish it next year because I really did enjoy this book. I don't know why it took me so long to read it. And then last but not least, I dropped a book, oops, is Cersei by Madeline Miller. I'm gonna hold this like this because it messes with the lighting. So this is the story of Cersei from the Odyssey, the witch that turns all of Odysseus's men into pigs. But it's so much more than just that. That's like a couple chapters in this entire book. This book was absolutely fabulous. I love this book so much. I really love Greek mythology. It's one of my favorite things. So I also read Song of Achilles by her this year, but this one is by far, I think, my favorite of the two. Not that Song of Achilles is not good. It is just as good. But this one was just so good. And it makes you see Cersei in a new light. And it's just so good. It follows her from when she was a child to, you know, all the way through the Odyssey and past. And it is absolutely stunning. I highly recommend this book if you like Greek mythology, but also even if you don't and it's just something that you might be interested, I still think that you can pick this up without knowing a lot of Greek mythology. I actually have a friend who wanted to read it, but she thought that she couldn't because she doesn't know a lot of Greek mythology. But I really think that this story, the way that it's written, is kind of self-containing. There are other myths kind of thrown in there, but they're not central to the story, if that makes sense. So I think that this is really great. I highly recommend it. So those are the 5 books that I read that were my absolute favorite this year. I read a lot more books that I really loved, but I wanted to try and keep this video kind of short. So keep a lookout for my most surprising, my most disappointing, and my least favorite books of the year. I don't know when those will be coming out, in what order, but keep a lookout, and I will see you guys next time. Let me know in the comments down below your favorite books that you read this year, or if you've read any of these books and your thoughts and opinions on them. All right, bye.